The musicians first met at Marlborough College, where they were both teaching.
It's interesting because when I came to Marlborough College, Paul had been working here for already, and we were in different buildings, so all the music department was scattered around. And so I didn't actually meet you until one of my students was playing something and you accompanied her, that's right.
That's it, yeah.
So he accompanied one of my students. I thought, oh, hang on a minute.
Can actually play the piano.
Why can't he accompany me?
Paul trained at the Royal Academy of Music. Sally trained at the Royal College of Music, emigrated to Australia, where she became Professor of Flute at New South Wales Conservatorium of Music before returning to the UK. Between Sally and Paul, there is a communication without words that creates the musical magic, the X factor, which makes the Stocks-Turner duo so special.
We don't have a huge amount of discussion. We never
No.
argue about speeds or dynamics
No.
or interpretation or any of those things. It just happens very organically.
Like all entertainers, Sally and Paul are no strangers to the challenges of performing live.
We were on a full-size stage and in front of the curtain, if you like, so in front of the main curtain. And there was a very complicated set with lots of stairs and doorways behind the curtain. And I introduced this piece and introduced Sally, and she didn't walk on. So I just talked a bit further. And so in the end I had to leave the stage and rescue her from one of these fake doorways.
Oh dear. No, the music fell off the music stand, and I sort of looked in desperation at the audience, you know, in the front row, thinking, oh, maybe somebody might come and pick it up for me. No way. I think they were just thinking, oh, what's going to happen next? And I don't know. I just suddenly realised I knew it from memory. I just kept going. Walk out and you can play, and isn't it lovely, you know? But the actual amount of practice that one has to do and sort of preparation is enormous.
Sally and Paul both grew up in musical families. Paul's talent was nurtured by John Streets and Geoffrey Parsons. Sally took part in residential masterclasses with the famous James Galway at Stowe School, before studying at the Royal College of Music with Christopher Hyde-Smith and Graham Mager.
And I think probably the biggest influence for me was my father. He died very recently, but we didn't have a television. So our entertainment was music, so, you know, it was always a big thing of who was going to be on the piano, you know, so you had sort of bags in. And my father saw this ad for this flute course at Stowe School. People would come and give recitals. So William Bennett came in, and he and James Galway, he was basically the mentor of the course. Yeah, so really he was a massive inspiration for me. In fact, I've been trying to decide whether I wanted to be a pianist or a flute player. When I heard him play, that decided me. I thought, well, if he can make that sort of sound on a flute, then that's the one for me.
It was the one thing that I could do. I didn't ever feel there was a choice to do anything else. You know, there was a point when I should have been studying, when I was, you know, out playing in 3 brass bands, playing for a girls' choir, playing for church services, you know, playing in an orchestra. All these things were happening when I should have been sitting at home writing essays. So I think what we like to do is to try and balance it so that the instruments are pretty even. And it's not, in the same way that the piano's not always playing the most important thing, the flute's not always playing the most important thing either. So it's quite nice to be able to sort of come in and out of those sounds. So that's other than technically getting around the stuff in the first place, that's the biggest challenge, is just to try and balance it and voice it in a way that makes good musical sense. It's absolutely vital to pass on the fantastic training that I've had, certainly. Even if people aren't going to use it as their profession, it's a huge aid to learning. It's really good for finding your concentration and your focus, and finding shapes and patterns in the music is translatable to many other subjects.
I've been teaching since I was 15, in fact. I played in a concert somewhere. I think it was in my hometown, and afterwards in fact it was our vicar's daughter asked me if I'd teach her the flute, and so that's how it started.